Ladies and gentlemen, this man is a true giant.
Oh, if you've never seen him before, let me put it in terms the layman might understand. He's Costco size. Look at this guy, this monster.
And in less than 24 hours, tomorrow night at One Night Stand, WWE Champion John Cena will put the title on the line against the Great Khali King in what is a Falls Count Anywhere match where you must win by pinfall.
Well, yeah, and that doesn't do John Cena any favors, but when you mention Falls Count Anywhere, I mean, that's anywhere that we out.
And John Cena wasting a little time, going right on the offensive against the Great Khali.
Look at Khali blocking just about every one of those shots that John Cena's throwing.
John Cena, oh, and that's like running into a brick wall. Startled the Great Khali for a moment, trying to go for the FU. John Cena's finishing maneuver, the FU, but Cena could not get the 420-pounder off his feet. Hey, King, that is what John Cena's going to have to do tomorrow night at One Night Stand. Get the giant off his feet in order to pin him.
Well, good luck. You just saw John Cena, we saw in the past, attempted to pick the Great Khali up for an FU. He was not successful. Never been able to do that. I don't know if it's a good move to try, but what else is he going to try with this monster?
Well, King, a couple of weeks ago at Judgment Day, John Cena got the Great Khali to tap out to the STFU in a controversial decision. But in One Night Stand tomorrow night, submissions don't count. You've got to win by pinfall so that STFU, won't matter.
Well,
and a giant right hand.
I mean, this giant Khali is so dominant, and yes, John Cena did get a victory, but I'll be perfectly honest with you. In talking with the majority of the superstars back in the locker room, I'll just tell you, a lot of the guys think that might have been a fluke.
A fluke? What? You gotta be kidding me. John Cena, the champion, takes on all comers. He's not a fluke, he's the real deal.
Well, I agree with you. I'm just saying what some of the superstars are saying. The fact that, I mean, look at how dominant the Great Khali is and how dominant he's been. And then out of nowhere, John Cena was able to lock on that STFU and got the victory, but I'm telling you, a lot of people don't think it can happen again.
The Great Khali never submitted before Judgment Day. He has never been pinned.
Never been pinned.
The Great Khali may have taken John Cena lightly at Judgment Day, but seems extremely focused here tonight on Saturday night's main event.
The strength that this Great Khali possesses is just, it's amazing.
Yeah, King, you were talking about other superstars in the locker room. Many superstars are asking the question if John Cena is indeed crazy, because Great Khali laid out the challenge last week, and Cena accepted that challenge to put his championship on the line again against Khali. And thus far, Khali has been dominating, manhandling the WWE Champion. That huge boot off the skull of John Cena. You've been in the ring with the Great Khali. What is it like? How massive is this man?
Well, oh, look out here. This is not going to be what goes up must come down. And,
with ease.
Well, to have those huge hands of the Great Khali wrapped around your throat, and then he picks you up in the air. I mean, so high you think you're going to nosebleed, and then slamming you down into the mat. You'd lose consciousness. Look out here.
John Cena rolling out of the way. That leg drop may have been the death knell. And John Cena, was he perhaps going for the STFU? That would work tonight, but not tomorrow night. That submission maneuver. But you see with the ease that Great Khali really punted John Cena out of the ring.
Oh, look out. I don't like it when they come over in this direction. This is not going to be good.
And Great Khali right here in front of us, measuring John Cena with a mammoth-like right hand. Wow. And tomorrow night in One Night Stand, King, Great Khali could go for the pin cover right out here in front of the announce table because falls do count anywhere.
Well, you're right. Just imagine what it's like to get punched with that big ham-like fist of the Great Khali's. But you're right, tomorrow night, falls count anywhere. I mean, you're right, it could be out here. It could be out in the crowd with our fans out there. It could be back in the locker room, in the ladies' restroom. You never know where the action's going to spill tomorrow night.
That clothesline must have been like running into a tree limb.
Oh, man.
And Khali measuring the kidney, small the back. Watch. And the impact, driving Cena's head first to the mat below. And another clothesline, and every time the champ tries to mount some sort of offense, King,
Well,
Great Khali just knocks him down.
I mean, just look at the sight in front of you there. 7 feet 4 inches tall, 420 pounds, and the strength that the Great Khali possesses. And I've said it before, I don't know who stands much of a chance against this monster.
Great Khali has a shoe that measures 18-4E. 18-4E, can you imagine? Size of a 2x4. As Khali drives that.
Well, our fans in Toronto letting Khali know what they think about him.
John Cena using the Khali's body to try to bring himself to his feet, only to run into another right hand.
I don't know what's worse from Khali. Those huge chops to the top of your head or those big fists right to between your eyes.
I cannot remember the last time I have seen John Cena have to crawl to his knees, have to use his opponent's body to pull himself to a vertical base before being knocked down again. Cena holding his head, obviously, after the assault by the Great Khali, perhaps subconsciously trying to figure out what he has to do to get this giant off his feet. Missed with the right, and John Cena!
And he left him!
John Cena has got Khali in the shoulders! Going for the FU, but an elbow to the jaw drops the champion again.
Man, those elbows jacking John Cena's jaws like he was knocked out by a heavyweight fighter.
And that axe-like chop across the skull of the champion. And Khali has been nothing short of dominant.
Well, I get the feeling that he's almost toying with the champ here. Uh-oh. This could be the beginning of the end.
John Cena planted!
That's it! That's it!
The look on the face of the Great Khali. The nonchalant cover. A count of 2 and 3, and Great Khali is pinned. He is pinned, the WWE champion.
And the winner of the match, the Great Khali.
How can John Cena stop the Great Khali?
I don't think he can. I think what we just witnessed makes me believe that what the other superstars are saying may be right. I think Cena's one victory over Khali was a fluke.
Cena, tayo mereka bini masuk satu mereka. Kami ini masuk dalam mereka tu. Tayo yang mana gua, putar mana gua. Anyway, kami ini masuk dah. Kau baru kata gua kau saya, kau sandal gua.
John Cena, tomorrow night at One Night Stand, the Great Khali will defeat you for the WWE Championship. The Great Khali says he can beat you in this ring, outside the ring, or in the crowd. In a match that's falls count anywhere. Tomorrow night, the Great Khali will become the WWE Champion.
How can you argue with him? How can you argue with the Great Khali after the dominating performance here tonight on Saturday night?